I'm pretty sure you have been asked this question by someone or another, or maybe when you're playing a Facebook game or answering some Q&A. And the question would be, what would you do if you win $1 million? In fact, some of these beauty pageants and all that, they always had this, what would you do if you won $1 million? In fact, in Toastmasters also, you have this table topics, speaking on the spot. So they would ask, what would you do if you won $1 million? I'm not going to give you a very witty, smart, intelligent answer. But I'm going to tell you the answer that really matters to me, that comes from the heart. Okay? And this is the real thing that I would do if I won $1 million. And the answer is nothing. I wouldn't do anything new. I would do exactly the same thing I'm doing right now. Making videos, uploading stuff online, trying to have my targets for revenue, trying to be focused about how to improve on my brand, doing my work. Life would be just normal. I wouldn't do anything different. The only thing I may do different is, complete the house that for my wife and baby. Have a nice setup, properly constructed, so that I can do my work more better. Then keep some money in a fixed deposit for my wife or for my baby and myself. And then live normal. Maybe once a while go for a holiday or something. But otherwise, not spend money like crazy, man. Now, why? Why am I bringing this topic up? The reason I'm bringing this topic up is because the fact is, if you would say that I would do something different, I would start a business, or I would travel the world, or I would invest in this, invest in that, and that clearly proves you're not happy in life. That clearly proves what you're doing day in and day out is not your true calling. That means you are not living the life you're meant to live. And this is not to put you down or to, get back at you or say, my life is better than no. Many of us are doing a job or taking a career or having a lifestyle because they have to support their family, their wife, their spouse. Maybe they have credit cards, maybe they have loans, maybe they have, commitments. They have to take care of parents, brother, sister. But the fact is, they're doing something which they don't like. Working for an employer they don't like. Working for a job they don't like. Working in a career they don't like. Working in an industry they are no longer interested in. And I'll tell you, that is a miserable way to live, man. I know it's very easy for me to talk. I'm lucky that I'm getting to do what I love. But it is seriously a terrible thing, man. I mean, just imagine you get up day in and day out. You wake up in the morning and you're going like a machine to a workplace where you don't like those colleagues. You're not going to spend time with them outside office hours. You're selling a product or service. You're just selling for namesake. It's not that you believe in it. You're just selling it because you have to make money. And if tomorrow someone else paid you a little bit more money, you'd sell another product. And then you come back home and you're exhausted. There's no passion. There's no desire. It's not like a hobby that you'd love to do even if you don't get paid money. For me, thankfully, I'm doing what I love. My hobby, my passion, my interest has become the way I can earn money. And I'm able to make money doing what I love. It's like a singer who makes money singing. It's like a dancer who makes money dancing. So I'm able to make money doing what I love. I love talking, I love coaching. I'm good at personal branding. I focus on these things, And over the years, yes, I've been able to improve my critical thinking. So I'm happy, I'm happy. But now the question is, if you are not happy doing what you're doing, what is the answer? Do you start taking a drastic decision? No, I'm not going to work anymore and I'm going to try to follow my dreams and my passion? Or would you start taking, guidance from someone? Would you take a risk? What do you do? At what age is the right age? When do you say, no, I need to give up on my dream? See, let me shock you by telling you this. There have been certain dreams of mine which I've given up. Like, I wanted to be a radio jockey, I gave it up. Remember during the MTV days and all that, I wanted to be a VJ, video jockey. I wanted to be a movie star. I wanted to be a DJ, disc jockey. I wanted to be an anchor for shows. Those days I used to love being on stage and talking because the money was good, and at that time, being famous and all that. But after trying for years and years, I literally tried for 8 years. I remember in UAE, there was Hum FM. Hum FM is Hindi, Urdu, Malayalam. Those days, Hum FM was the monopoly. It was run by Quain Radio. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there was only FM 92, Dubai, Channel 33. It was run by them. I don't know, the main parent company. So there was no other outlet. There was no other radio station. I tried for years and years and years. And then finally Arabian Radio Network came up. And then they had 104.8 Channel 4 FM. And you had different FMs that came. 99.3, then Dubai Eye. I was so excited. I was applying left, right and center with all of them. But little did I know that, being a radio presenter involves professional skills, involves years and years of training, involves practice, involves charisma, involves so many factors. I didn't know all this. I just was a guy who had passion and who just believed in himself and his dream, and I would try and every time get thrown out. When I look back at myself today, I can tell you I had zero talent for the radio industry. I knew how to talk, but I didn't know the style of being a radio presenter. There's a different style. There are different styles of speaking. Public speaking also, there are different styles. There is a seminar style, there is a training style, there's a formal, there's an informal, there's stand-up comedy, there is roasting. It can go on and on. There are so many different styles of giving speeches, You can be a speaker to inform, you can be a persuasive speaker, you can be a salesman, you can be a seminar presenter, you can be a moderator. There are so many ways. You can be a debater. So being on radio was a different art. And see, the problem was there was nobody to guide me, nobody to tell me, Loy, listen, you have to do this, you have to go for this training, you have to go for this course. I was just a lost boy who even his parents didn't give a fuck. And I tried for 8 years, every time getting thrown out by the security guards and thrown out by the people and insulted and laughed at and mocked at. And finally it came to such a very tragic moment in my life where I had no food to eat and no money, and I was staying with my parents, but I was hanging on to that dream. Imagine I didn't have a job for 2 years. And I was trying for this radio station, hardly eating one meal a day. Literally sitting in that radio station I joined as an intern. I told them I'll work for free. I'll even make tea, coffee, whatever for people. And they were like, okay, make tea, coffee and all that. I even took up that role, just imagine. And this is at the age of, I think, 25 or 26 or whatever. Imagine making tea, coffee and all that, just to sit and to watch the radio station people and learn from them. I did this for months without any pay. But every time, whenever I would see the creative manager, his name was Chetan of City FM, I would tell him, would you listen to my tape? Would you listen to my tape? And this guy he was patient. He's a guy from Mumbai. And he kept quiet. One fine day, I think he was busy in a meeting, and this was in Dubai Media City, and all the employees, RJs, everyone was there sitting doing their work. And I went up to Chetan and I gave him my tape. I said, can you listen to it again? And he he was pissed off, and I don't know what happened, but he suddenly exploded and he told me, what the fuck is this, he's saying, you're fucking useless, you don't have any fucking talent, what the fuck are you asking me, and this and that. It went on, and he shouted in front of everyone. Imagine the whole floor of people sitting there and people sitting there, and I'm standing here and I'm getting shouted at. You have no fucking talent. You think you're ready? Get the fuck out of here, he told me. Ooh, I'll tell you, it hurt. I remember there was this really cool guy. He was a famous RJ. I don't know if he's there in UAE. His name is Marwan, DJ Bliss. He was kind to me. He said, take it easy, come. He took me. I went out, and just imagine, I hardly had any food to eat and no money, and staying with my parents, but driving down all the way with cabs from Ajman, starting at 4 in the morning and reaching home at almost 12 in the night, taking sharing cabs and taking lifts, going back to the house. And my parents didn't fucking bother. They were like, go get a job, we don't care. I remember calling my parents and to pick me up, because and they were like, oh, did you get a job? So I didn't say anything. Finally, when they sat in the car, even my father didn't have a job that time. My mother was driving us. And did you get a job? Did they say yes? And then I just looked out and tears were rolling down my eyes, and they understood and they kept quiet. They understood something bad had happened. I asked them to leave me at my cousin's sister's house. I got down in Dubai. Supposed to go to Ajman, but I got down in Dubai. And then I called up my mentor. And I remember my mentor picked up yes, Loy, how are you? The minute he picked up the phone, I just burst out crying. I cried and I sobbed, and I was unable to breathe when I was crying, because my dream had shattered, and I had made up my mind that time that if I couldn't get a job with my dream, I would give it up, and this was the last resort for me. So after I cried and cried and cried, 45 minutes, my mentor just listened to me. I remember the next day when he called me and gave me many motivational CDs and tapes and all that on never give up on your dream. This was in my 20s, late 20s. In hindsight, when I look back, I'm glad I never got that, because the radio industry had changed after that drastically. All the big names, all the so-called celebrities, they ended up getting replaced and lost their jobs. UAE as a market, it was during the boom period. There were many FM radio stations. All of them shut down one by one, and eventually many of them didn't pay salaries. And in hindsight, when I look at it today, I'm far more better than if I'd taken up that radio station job. But the main thing was, I kept trying different things. I kept at it. I didn't give up on my dream. I tried this, okay, this didn't work, I tried that. This didn't work, I tried that. That didn't work, I tried that. Every time I was trying something new, And I'll tell you, where I've reached today, it has not been a straight path. So many failures, so many heartbreaking moments, so many tears, so many episodes where I questioned myself. Where, I used to even wonder, is it worth living? I've been through so much, man. It's so funny that I even met B.R. Shetty, the same guy who, such a big scandal. I met B.R. Shetty. And I told him when he took my interview, what is your ambition? I said, to earn 10 times more than you. And he actually stood up and shook my hand. Wow, that's fantastic. I was in my 20s that time. I was an arrogant prick. The only thing I had was belief in myself. I didn't have any training. I didn't have any talent other than blabbering. I had no one to guide me. I was just a guy who just believed in himself. That's all I had. Luckily for me, after doing everything, reading books and getting all this generic advice and believe in yourself and have a dream, have a goal and this and that, and finally searching, I found out what I'm passionate about. And forget what I'm passionate about, how to make money doing what you love. And today, if I'm earning this kind of money that I'm making, it's because of I didn't give up trying to find out how to commercialize my passion. That's the key thing, you know. You need to figure out how to monetize your passion, how to make money out of it. If you can't make money out of it, it's no use, yeah. You know, I meet so many guys who want to be bodybuilders, who want to be singers, who want to be dancers, but they can't make ends meet. Then what is the use, man? There are so many actors, actresses, singers who are just hardly making few pennies. How I know? There's so many people who take my consultation for personal branding and they think I'm going to give them a secret of how to go viral, and I give them this talk which is like heart to heart, you know, like a father would give his children. And they tell me like, Loy, I never thought I would get this kind of advice, because I thought you would tell me, okay, put on Instagram, create these 10 videos and, you know, create viral content and use SEO and hashtags. And that is all bullshit, yeah. So it's all about finding what you really are passionate about and how to make monies and living a life that is meaningful, that is purposeful. And today I'm glad I don't have to work under someone and kiss someone's ass and call someone sir and have a boss and sell a product I'm not passionate about. And that is exactly why if I were to win $1 million, I'll not change. My life is actually like $1 million, $1 billion, you know. Yes, of course, if I would get to, if someone would give me $1 billion and say, okay, or 100 million and say, stop your work completely. Fine, I'm being realistic here. $100 million, I don't mind just remaining anonymous somewhere, but I'll not work. I can't work under someone because then I'll be miserable and it's not worth it. If you want 100 million and me give up my brand and give up everything online and be a unknown somewhere in a forest, 100 million, you can take care of your bills. Yeah, I can do it quietly. I can play a game, I can read a book, I can do exercise. 100 million is good. Let's be realistic here. But being truthful and honest, I have a beautiful life, a very beautiful life. And it's not because of my wife or baby and all that. It's because I'm able to do what I love. So if I could leave you with something worthwhile, the only thing I would tell you is, if someone asks you, you know, what would you do if you get $1 million? If your answer is to change your life, change your work, change everything, then do it before you even get the $1 million. Because if you do that, it'll automatically be like you won $1 million. Don't wait for the day you win $1 million, because most probably you'll not. So it's very important that since you cannot win or you will not win, make your life that way, and then it'll be worth living. It will feel good to win $1 million, trust me. Not that it's bad. But I think we need to be realistic about it. So let me know your thoughts. This is what I wanted to share with you. Good, bad, ugly. Put your comments down below. Love to hear from you. This is me signing off. You guys take care.